marvelous food.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for suggesting this is one of your favorites. So when did you start this?
We opened June 1st of 2020, right in the middle of COVID.
Oh, wow. You're a very brave woman.
Well, we didn't know that COVID was coming.
Yes.
And I hadn't had a restaurant before, so you know how they say ignorance is bliss? It worked out for me this time. We jumped into it because it was a dream I always had, just to have a restaurant. I always wanted to do it my whole life. And in January of 2020, before they announced COVID, I had made the decision of I'm jumping in to do this. And got our ducks in a row, and I kind of had this vision of just a quaint little cafe with six tables or so, that I was just going to cook some of my family favorites. And it blossomed into something much greater than that, and gave us a lot more opportunities to just serve the community as we kind of started to understand more about what the needs of the community were. We grew a lot during this process, and I'm just so happy and grateful for how we have been able to consistently be here and maintain our company culture, which is a culture of love, joy, being there to share with others, being an important part of the lives of other people, and just kind of being here to support our community in every way that we can.
Thank you. And it shows. You can feel the warmth, the passion when you walk in here, the way people greet you, the allergies, the food, the presentation. You've left no stone unturned. Do you get to sleep, or you run 180 miles an hour the whole time?
No, actually I learned that the truth is now that life is all about balance, and in order to fulfill my purpose in life, I needed to make sure that I was doing everything I could do to take care of myself. It took me a long time to understand that, but it was super interesting because in the process of becoming more dedicated to just being a person who lives longer, is healthier, happier, more vibrant, more energetic, more capable, I have been able to bring so many of the things that I've learned on my own journey to just wellness to the restaurant to share with my customers. So not only can I share it through the foods I prepare, the little modifications I'll make, I'll say, hey, we're not using anything with soy in it, unless it's tofu, of course. but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's helped me to tailor what I do for customers. If I make a change for myself, I'll say, hey, I'm going to go back to this recipe and make sure that we're offering the same health benefits to them as I'm doing for myself. So in that growth, I've learned that if you show up for what you're supposed to do, if you show up for your purpose in life, you're going to have all the time you need to do everything you're supposed to do to be there. But if you don't take care of who you are, your physical, your emotional, your mental well-being, then you really can't be the best person that God made you to be here on this planet.
You can't take care of somebody else if you can't take care of yourself.
So, it has become part of the harvest culture here that all of my people, from our employees that work here to the customers, they all know that coming here is kind of part of well-being, it's part of wellness. That's why I say the harvest is like a sanctuary, because our people that come here, I say, when you come here, nothing can hurt you, nothing. It's all good. We welcome everything that happens in here because we're going to learn from it, we're going to become stronger from it, and I encourage everybody that is around us at all times to be present and give their best in everything they do. Do work that makes them proud and take risks to grow. And that in all of those actions, in feeling secure in your job, working with other people who also love what they do, doing work that makes you proud, and constantly stretching to just improve yourself, it really helps to create better people. Our people give back to their communities, they volunteer at their schools, they volunteer in their churches. They're actively participating in giving back in these communities, the community that we live in, because it's all been kind of part of the culture that we've developed here.
That's awesome. Actually, quick plug-in, we're doing the Alzheimer's Walk tomorrow
Nice.
at La Centera. So we've done that annually for years, so please come out, support, walk, and donate for that. As far as dishes go, just to get back from the plug, have you had any that you thought were going to be a hit that weren't, or dishes that you thought weren't going to be hit that were? Because people love to see behind the scenes or hear the stories.
So that is such a great question. Because we have so many items on the menu, it is hard for people to choose, and so people will get in a routine of ordering their favorites, and then we'll come up with a new dish, and even though it could be completely fabulous, maybe because we already have so many things on the menu, they don't necessarily readily choose it. Now, there are people that come in here that just say, what's new, I'm going to order it, doesn't matter what it is. But have we had any that are flops? Well, one time I put Brussels sprouts on an Eggs Benedict. I think that was a temporary situation. There were people that liked it, but most people weren't sure about that.
Yeah.
But
I'm a Brussels sprouts guy. I love Brussels sprouts.
So there was people out there that says, "Oh my God, I love that dish," and I was like, "Well, you're the one person." Yeah. But for the most part, we've learned. I am kind of I have a very interesting palate, and when I taste something, I know whether it's going to be good or not. I just know. I'm like, this is excellent, or this is just not going to work. I am really, really critical of my own food, so I'm really careful about what I put out there. It's got to check all the boxes for me. It could just be something as simple as biscuits and gravy, but that gravy better have a rich, deep flavors in it, and the biscuits better be very fluffy and light and buttery.
Not tasty.
Yeah.
A lot of gravies that just taste like flour.
Yeah, exactly. But I really want, at the core of everything that we do here, I want every process of everything we do. For example, everything like the cooking the gravy, multiple steps to get something to taste deep and rich. We put all the effort into it to make a 5-star production of whatever it is. Nothing comes from a pouch. It's just mixed with water and heated on the stove. It doesn't happen. So in that process, I already know that I've invested in my food, and I'm not going to go through the trouble of creating a dish that I don't feel like is really perfect, is exceptional. Now, whether it's a winner or not could have something to do with people's personal tastes, like the Brussels sprouts.
What's the process of the dish creation? Do you go once a month, hey, we're going to add 2, or?
No, we don't. So we have, like I said, we have over 100 items on the menu. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, I got to where I decided I needed to temper my my desire to constantly churn, because I was wanting to crank out new dishes every week. But our kitchen has to memorize all those dishes, and we have to have prep space for everything. And then because we serve so many different dietary restrictions, now those dishes need to be able to be made for all the different dietary restrictions as well. So it gets one dish turns into 4 or 5 different dishes because it requires
the restrictions.
Different preparation methods. So what I do now is this. I allow my creativity to steep. Okay? I think about what's missing, and I listen to people coming in and saying things like, do you have this, do you have that, do you have something, and I'll think about it for a while, and then if a dish is right, this is just the way I've always worked. I literally would become on fire with inspiration to create it. It's as if the dish forces its way out of me, and I'm not kidding. This is kind of how the process works for me. I'll start to smell and taste the different features of it before it's ever manifested itself, and I'll imagine it. I'll draw a picture, and I'll just start writing notes as to what I'm smelling and tasting before it even comes out. Draw a picture. So then once I've thought about it for a while, and I'll feel like this dish must be created, I'll go into the kitchen, work on it. By that time, I've already kind of created the whole thing virtually in my head. We'll make it sometimes it's perfect the first time. Usually it gets there within the 3rd time. But if the dish is meant to be, it usually comes together by the 3rd time we've made it. Then we'll put it out there, and we'll see how the people like it.
In making your dishes, do you do a dash of this, a dash of that, or is everything pre-measured?
Okay. So when I create a recipe, that's the experimental part.
Okay. So
That's where the dash of this and dash of that.
That's the
comes in.
R&D.
That's the hard
Yeah.
part.
Research
Because
and development.
now I know you can't just say a dash of this, a dash of that. I have to, every gram of whatever I put in there during the experimentation, I'm going to have to measure. If I added an extra gram of cinnamon, I better know it, so that when I'm done with the recipe, because I have so many recipes, I'll know exactly what I did put in that pot so that I can recreate it. But the recipe creation part becomes a little more tedious. It's kind of all on me because there is so many dash of this and dash of that. Oh, that might be good with a little extra of this, right? So I am a lot more disciplined now than I used to be, where I would just say, how did you make that? I just put some butter in it, some salt. How much? About this much? You know? So I got really a lot more disciplined because I surrounded myself with fantastically disciplined people. And they
So it forced you to get better.
they expect me to be able to walk in there with a recipe that is correct to the gram. And in order, if you want me to cook this, I need to know exactly what's in it to the gram. And all the cooking processes that lead to it. So in some cases, like there are so many cooking processes that I developed for our food, which is why our food tastes different. The people that are I have 2 sous chefs in the kitchen, and they know my methods. And sometimes we'll come up with new ones, and we'll go back and we'll learn something new, and we'll create some new flavors that way. But yes, I do need to be consistent, and that's one of the things that we're actually very well known for. Consistency. People will come here and they'll say, Harvest is consistent, the food is consistent, the restaurant's consistently clean, our people are consistently.
That's huge.
Consistency, it gives you a sense of security when you're the customer. You feel good about eating in a restaurant, that you come in, it always looks clean, smells clean, people look clean, people are smiling, the food looks the same. You feel good about it. We like familiarity, and I think it passes.
You don't subtract for profits. You put the best stuff in there.
Yeah.
The experience that I've had, if you go to a restaurant and you love their dish, you eat it multiple times, then all of a sudden you order the same dish and it doesn't taste the same because they use cheaper ingredients.
Yeah, we've actually done the opposite. I've never sought out cheaper ingredients. I literally have only sought out better ingredients, and we've had to have a few. We had to tweak our prices along the way just to kind of balance things a little bit, because in some cases the food costs went up way more than we were really able to change our pricing. But I did it because I believe this. The customers that come to Harvest are not necessarily, hopefully everyone is using their cash wisely. But the fact of the matter is that people that come here are coming here for the Harvest experience and the food. If I fail to provide that consistency in the food because I'm trying to save a couple dollars, it's going to cost me in the end, and it's not what I want out of my life. So I'm literally living my best life by making sure that I'm doing the best that I can to provide you with the best. I'm not going to pay more for the best from somebody else if I can get it from a different person. Like in some cases, my butcher at HEB is the best person to go to. You know what I mean?
HEB's wonderful.
They're amazing. I love them. But for us, it's always about upgrading and becoming better. And I believe this has been actually a journey of faith for me. And I believe that through this entire journey, the old axiom that if you're doing something right, the money will come. My emphasis has never, not for one day, been on the profits. And yet, we have always managed to take care of all of our responsibilities and be here for the community in every way we can to give back to our schools and churches in these areas.
And you've grown. You've grown in the process.
Yes,
yeah.
Talking about the profits, I've always operated my company with the 4P principle. We have to have the right people in the company, we have to have the right people in front of us, and we also have to have the right product. So if I take care of the first 3 Ps, that profit always comes.
It's true.
It does.
And I guess I didn't realize it, but I was following the same principle. I knew the people were the most important part of this, because this is not about Lori. I had a vision, and I was able to share my vision with talented people, wonderful people that had enough faith in what we were doing, that we could work through some of the rough patches. But at the end of the day, it is the fabulous team that we have. And guess who's part of that team? Customers.
Yes.
Our customers are part
That's
of our team
awesome,
too. They
yeah.
are.
That's the employer.
Serious. So it's all of us together. It is the truth. The truth of the chain being only as strong as its weakest link is really true here. And I feel like I have kind of I've grown from the person who cooked everything in the kitchen and would go to the register, you know.
I bet it was hard for you to let go of the cooking everything.
You know, it really was. You're so right. It was super hard. But I understood how important it was when I surrounded myself with such talented people. One day I realized I am not showing this man enough respect to let him be in charge of cooking this. You know, I'm acting like he doesn't know how to cook it. And so I had to realize, what do I have to lose by releasing all my recipes to the people in my kitchen that keep showing up every day to be there and yes chef me, you know? So now I'm like, you know what? I think you can do it. I believe you. And you know what now? Because of that, have the opportunity to be involved in all of the aspects of the restaurant. I can be more involved with the customers, which I wasn't before at all. I was behind the scenes. And if I need to help out at the register, I do. If I need to help here, I do. If I go back to the kitchen, I mean, I talk to vendors. I'm able to do a lot more things because I am not the one responsible for doing all the cooking.
So you freed yourself by doing that.
And there's no way I can do it now anyway because we have too many things. We now have 3 prep meals. So I'm going to go grab that sandwich for you guys, though.
Oh, awesome.
Right.
I have one more
Yes,
question
ma'am.
for you, though.
Yes.
So when Lori Pope is super tired, where does she, and doesn't want to cook
At home.
at home,
Yeah.
where does she go to eat? In Katy.
Oh my goodness. Oh, in Katy. Well, I live in Fulshire.
Oh, in
Yes,
Fulshire, even
okay.
better.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we love Anthony's, but we also
Yes.
love Pier 36. And for me, I know I can get delicious food anytime I want it. But sometimes for me, it's about just being around people, warm, loving people.
Yeah.
Sitting with my husband and not having to, not even focused on the food. So sometimes we'll just go. It doesn't even, like last time we went to a little Thai restaurant off of 1463. We'll just go try a new place, and I can enjoy all the things about any little restaurant. I enjoy the people. I enjoy wondering, you know, who's cooking this food and where do they learn how to cook, and you know, where do the ingredients come from. And I ask a lot of questions, but we just kind of stick in the Fulshire area mostly.
Yeah, and just try out different spots, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice. Awesome. Thank you, Lori.